Hello, my name is Ethan Hewlin. Like you, I live in a world that never stops moving. Also like you, I have stories. These are my stories, the true stories of a tryhard. Welcome back to True Stories of a Tryhard. I am Ethan Hewlin, and this week I'm coming to you once again from quarantined in my own house. So here to join me in the collective experience of sheltering from the world and its dangers is Noah of the Siblings of Fandoms podcast. So Noah, welcome. Thank you, Noah, for joining me on such a short notice. I know we have nothing but time, and yet I still have time to procrastinate everything.
Oh, always. Yeah, every single time.
So, listeners and Noah, we're diving into kind of the effects that quarantine has had on our mental health and our various experiences with that sort of thing. So, Noah, what's it been like for you?
Well, I am in school, but my school stopped being in session 2 weeks ago. And since then, it's been a very unclear message of whether we're supposed to do work, whether we're supposed to treat it like a spring break. And today, actually, my state went on a basically shelter-in-place order. And we also got the message from the school system basically saying what the plan is moving forward. So it's been a lot of uncertainty, but now we're finally getting some clarity.
So what has that been like for you being stuck in your house for, how long has it been?
2 weeks.
Okay, about the same here. So what has that done, like, in regards to, like, are you keeping busy? What are you doing to keep yourself from being bored and or keeping your sanity?
I'm playing a lot of Zelda.
I completely get that. I just bought Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I do not have $60. Or I would.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's been a lot of video games. It's been, honestly, a lot of podcasting. I maybe started a new podcast.
Ooh.
I don't know. I feel like the pilot we recorded is a little trash. But
hey, I also started a brand new podcast, which you can totally check out on Buzzsprout, Spotify, or any other podcast hosting site. It's called Outnumbered. It is with me and two of my sisters. Please feel free to check that out and give us some downloads. Sorry for that shameless plug. It just happened to come up.
Oh, it's fine. I shameless plug all the time.
Feel free to shameless plug right now.
I've kept up a schedule with the podcast I do run. It's called Siblings and Fandoms. You can find it at anchor.fm/siblings and fandoms or pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts. And it's my sister and I just sort of sitting down for half an hour to talk about any fandom.
Wonderful. So Noah, are you more of an introvert or extrovert, just personality-wise?
I think introvert, but then I have very extroverted moments. So I forget who said this, but it's someone on the, like, Bacon and Eggs WB&E area, which is how we know each other.
Yep.
But the reverse, an extroverted introvert is probably what I'd call myself.
Yeah. So this hasn't really... So has this bothered you at all, being stuck in your house for this long, not really being able to do anything?
Aside from getting real sick of my family, no.
Same here, honestly. Like, by nature, I am an introvert. I don't... being around people drains me mentally.
Yeah.
So, and even though, like, I didn't think that this would affect me as much as it has, I'm honestly surprised. because I just want to have human contact with someone that isn't related to me.
Yeah, physical. So one of the actually main things that's been bugging me is just sort of a lack of touch.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, my family isn't particularly touchy-feely. Like, we give hugs, but other than that, we're very separate in day-to-day. Because my parents are both still working. They're working from home, but they, like, still have stuff they need to do.
Yeah.
Can I curse, by the way?
I'll bleep it out.
All right. I won't create more work for you, then. So, yeah, it's just been a lack of just human contact that's been the most frustrating thing. But, like, I have a dog, so I have been able to leave the house, which has been really helpful.
Well, that's good.
And, like, it was only today that we got the, like, stay at home. We're not asking, we're telling you to.
Yeah.
Thing.
I got that last week from my state, and at first I was like, sweet, no human contact for the foreseeable future. This is gonna be great.
But then you realize, wait, no human contact for the foreseeable future.
Exactly. So, I don't know about you, Noah, and I'm about to get pretty deep here. I've been kind of back and forth on how much anxiety I've been feeling, just based on the limited amount of contact I've been able to get with people outside my family, because the contact I've been able to have has been exclusively through voice or video calls.
Yeah, same here. Anxiety might be the wrong word for what I've been experiencing, but it's more like a longing, almost. Yeah. Because it's not like I'm anxious I'm never going to see anyone again, or I'm never going to see this particular person again. It's the longing for, like, I want to be able to talk to you and, like, read the full body language that comes with an in-person conversation.
Yeah, but for me, it's not a I'll never be able to see you again. It's how long is it going to be until I see you again? That's what we don't know, and that's what's really getting to me.
Right, because, like, the school board, like I said, they released a statement earlier today, but also late last week, they had a meeting and released an initial statement. The way that statement was phrased, they are not planning on us going back to school this year. And that is a little scary, especially, like, I have friends who are seniors. That is extremely sad that I might not see them. But, like, I'm trying to stay busy, trying to, like, be as creative as I can. Spend as much time with my family as I can without getting super annoyed. I mean, it's just, I'm trying to power through and keep that, however little I experience it, that anxiety at bay.
Yeah, I get it. 100%.
But, like, I'm not having... So one of the creators of Welcome to Night Vale, Joseph Fink, has a podcast called Our Play Gear, and he's describing this, like, crushing anxiety, waking up in the middle of the night with panic dreams, and I'm not getting anything even close to that. It's just a background, like, this is crazy and I need to stay focused on anything else.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I'm definitely more vulnerable at times where I am isolated even more from my family, like when it's just me. Like, would you agree that is more of a time for you to be more vulnerable to this sort of thing?
I don't know, because I thrive in isolation. Like, that's when I get the most done, when no one is trying to distract me or talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because on the one hand, we as like biological beings need the contact. Like, complete isolation is not a way that humans can exist.
Oh, absolutely not.
But then I do my best work alone. So it's a balance that I have to hit. Like, we had contractors working on our house up until today. They're stopping Wednesday because of this order. And so I've been working in the shed to escape the noise. And I think I'm just going to keep doing that because it's like, one, having to leave the house to go to work, in air quotes, is like useful for getting in a mindset. And also, it's like, if my family wants to talk to me, they have to come outside. If I want to talk to them, I have to make the conscious effort. They can't just, like, come into my room.
Yeah.
So, it's an added separation that is useful for me being productive and sort of being able to bear the thought of at least 4 more weeks of this. We don't get back until the end of April, right now.
Yeah, as of right now, and that's really more what's been getting to me than anything else. Because no, I'm not sure if you're. Do you know what the 5 love languages are?
I do.
Okay.
And yeah,
what's your primary love language, if you don't mind me asking?
Probably touch. It's been a while since I took it, and I don't remember what I got, but it's
okay.
Touch or acts of service.
Okay, so mine is quality time. I like spending time with people. How I do that, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
but my number 2 is physical touch, and that is my girlfriend's number 1. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's having a bit of a rough go at the moment with not being able to see me or being able to see any of her friends, and that's just how we know that she shows her affection to other people, is by like hugs or high fives or fist bumps and stuff like that, and we just can't do that right now.
Yeah, I'm extremely sorry for her, for you. And it's like, I just need to distract myself from that lack of love. Like, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. Late to the Party has been great.
Yes.
Like, all the WB&E podcasts, everything
Yes.
Night Vale. Today we ordered Night Vale's new book, which is called The Faceless Old Woman Who Secretly Lives in Your Home.
I heard about that.
And it's going to be really wonderful to get that and to read. We got a Switch a week into this.
Yeah, I've had my Switch for about 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really glad that I have it.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I just bought Animal Crossing, been playing a lot of Mario Kart, a lot of Zelda. But also, I've been playing a lot of board games. We recently ordered What Do You Meme? If you've ever played that.
I have not, but I have heard people talk about it.
It's sort of like Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, that was what I was getting, but with memes.
Exactly. Even though Cards Against Humanity in and of itself is a meme.
So it's apples to apples, but memes.
Pretty much. It's been pretty funny playing with my parents.
Especially if you know the people well.
Yeah, I mean, with your family, there are a few people you know better. So, excuse me. Noah, I was going to ask how you're staying busy, but that's, you just told me that.
I basically said that. Lots of Netflix, too.
Yeah. I
managed to get the Netflix password.
how has your day-to-day routine been affected by what's happening right now?
I mean, when you consider that before I was leaving the house at 7:30 to get to a bus that would get me to school at 8:40 to a school that's 20 minutes away, immensely, and then I would stay there for the next 6.5 hours, be home at 4:30. School ends at 3:20. I mean, immensely. But, like, my sleep schedule hasn't changed. I wake up at 6. I'm still doing that. I'm going to bed around 10:30 or 11. And, I mean, it hasn't deviated too much from what, like, a normal weekend would look like if we had, like, no plans.
Okay.
Apart from, like, I've been going out to the shed and doing work. But
Yeah.
also, probably about 50% of that time is spent playing games and chatting on Discord.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know for me at least, because I'm in college, it's a bit different. Because I've gotten to pick my own class schedule, I've been able to be a bit more flexible than some people would. Like, I know that my mom and stepdad have been on calls for work most of the day.
Yeah, mine too.
We've been trying to take our dog for walks as much as we can because he's a 9-month-old puppy and still needs a lot of exercise.
Yeah, I have a, like, 2.5-year-old golden doodle who loves walks, loves playtime. She has lots of friends who we're still taking her to see.
Yeah.
Probably. I need to check on that.
Yeah, fortunately, we live in between some people who are who both own dogs, so he still gets to see at least some of his dog friends.
That's great. Yeah, her friends are all, within a 5-block radius.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, they can't... Like, we're supposed to only leave for essential purposes. I'm not sure you can argue that walking a dog isn't essential.
Or just exercise in general is essential.
Yeah. I think that might fly a little less depending on how they're thinking about all this.
Yeah. But have you, like... I don't know how much you exercise on a regular basis, but
Not much.
Okay. So has
Very
walking
long
your
walks.
dog... Okay, so has walking your dog been something that's been helping with being isolated like this?
Definitely. Just give me 1 second, sorry.
Sure.
Apologies.
Yeah, that's all good.
My door popped open randomly.
That's fine.
Which is just lovely.
Fantastic.
Alright, yeah, it's been helpful.
Okay.
It gives me, like, something to do.
Yeah.
Something that's never... like, walking with no destination, not really something... Well, I enjoy it, but there's a limit to how much you can do it.
Yeah.
Walking... Like, if I'm walking with my dog, it's easy to say, like, I'm walking to give her exercise. So I can justify 2 hours walking.
Yeah.
Which is 2 hours of escape that is badly needed.
Oh, absolutely. So, Noah, how do you think people both our age and older are going to see the world differently once this either is gone or has greatly reduced in risk?
I think we're gonna... Well, I hope we're going to appreciate the service personnel a lot more.
Absolutely.
I think you'll probably see a major change in the, like, ride-sharing apps. I think those might dip down a lot or maybe even go away. I'm going to be interested to see if handshaking comes back.
I think for the older demographic it might, but maybe not so much for like maybe our parents and younger.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I also think that we will learn as humans to value other humans, and I'm going to bring up something that's been talked about quite frequently on a podcast that I'm pretty sure we both enjoy, Hello from Elsewhere, Casey and Valerie Winters. Casey, who has actually been on the show. And it's the aspect of found family. So like your friends, co-workers, just people that aren't related by blood, but by bond, as it were. We'll probably appreciate them a lot more. We'll appreciate our own families a lot more. Go ahead.
I think what's going to happen with found family is, I think our generation specifically, Gen Z, already appreciates found family more than most. Mm-hmm. But I think you might see found family become a bit more... be treated a little more... what's the word I'm looking for? A little less for granted by the older generations. Mm-hmm. The realization that these people are not inherently part of your life. You need to choose every day to keep them there.
Yeah. And that's what I think makes found family so important, is because like you chose to let these people into your life. Your family, you didn't really have a choice.
No. You have the choice to keep them there, but only to the extent of they are still your family. You will see them at certain events.
Exactly.
Your found family, if you want to cut them out, there is nothing stopping you.
Mm-hmm. And the time you spend with them is much more intentional, I think.
Yes. It's time by choice instead of time by requirement.
Precisely. And I also believe we will not only appreciate our found family more, but also people who are in some of the lower paying jobs, such as like food service workers, or where I work, a delivery service.
Yes.
Or
are you still working?
I'm not still working because I have asthma, so because of that pre-existing condition, I'm more at risk than other people. But my manager and other coworkers are still working, trying to get things where they need to go, and I applaud them for that.
Yeah. We got an Amazon delivery today, about a month early, from when they told us.
Uh-huh.
So we ordered it. It was a like the thing you put the Joy-Cons into to make them controller shape.
Yeah.
That with a charging port, and then extension for my computer to allow it to connect to Ethernet, which for some reason it can't. But we got that. We ordered it initially. They said, don't expect it before April 21st. Mm-hmm. It came today.
Yeah.
And it's just the people out there who are risking their lives and health doing that. Mm-hmm. There's just no way to really thank them.
Right. And also, I think sometimes the older generations don't appreciate them as much because they just kind of think, they've earned their keep and don't really need to give anyone respect that's younger than them. Sometimes. It's not all the time. Like, I know that's more the exception than the rule. But if you've worked in retail, you know which people I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I have not. I have my first job scheduled for this summer, working at a customer service position at my pool.
Oh, okay.
And hopefully I get to do that.
We'll see. I mean, I hope so for your sake.
Yeah. Because for the older generations, it's been a long time since they had those jobs.
Yeah.
Since they were you.
Yeah.
So I think they've sort of forgotten, one, how just in general the general public can be, and two, how hard those jobs are and how necessary they are.
Okay. Yeah, I think they'll begin to appreciate how much those people actually do to help people, especially in times of uncertainty like this one, because a lot of, well, I don't know if this is a term you're familiar with or that is like commonly used, but knowledge workers, like the white collar jobs, people who are in a cubicle.
Yeah, I have not heard that. I have heard white collar. I have not heard knowledge jobs.
Okay. Well, those people aren't going to work because they're not considered essential.
Right. They might be working, but they are not leaving their house and heading to an office.
Exactly. And these people who work at places like, well, grocery stores and other things like that, I've heard from my friends, have to carry around like documentation to say, I am an essential worker, I need to work, so that way people can get food or people can get other things like that.
Yes.
So I just hope we all walk away from this with a different perspective on life and each other and how much we as a species are more similar than different. I mean, that's just been my hope for a while, but I didn't think it would take something like this to do it.
Yeah, I've been hoping that for about 4 years now.
Yeah.
That we'd get out of the current world order
with
an
you.
increased sense of unity. We'll see.
So Noah, we are approaching wrap-up time. Are there any encouraging words that you would like to leave with the tryhards who are listening, hopefully from quarantine right now?
You just had to put the word encouraging there, didn't you? Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'll say. If you are healthy, still stay home. Not for you, but for everyone who is at higher risk. Don't think that just because you are not in the high-risk group, you won't come into contact with someone who is.
Absolutely. Noah, is there anything you would like to plug?
I mentioned it earlier, my podcast is Siblings and Fandoms, wherever you get your podcasts. We're approaching our 1-year anniversary entirely too quickly. I had the brilliant idea to have us react to our first episode for that. And it's going to be lovely. I am also on Instagram at I_Kane, I like the body part, and on Twitter at Kane_I. Again, I like the body part.
All right.
Other than that, I don't think I have anything else.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you, listeners, once again for tuning in this week to True Stories of a Tryhard. You can find me on Instagram at ethan.t.hewlin. You can find me on Twitter at etphonehome. The O's are zeros and the E's are threes. You can
follow you.
Oh, thanks, man. I'll be sure to do the same. You can follow the podcast on Instagram and Twitter at True Stories Pod. I'll be trying to do some Instagram lives, either on my personal my personal page or the podcast page within the next couple of weeks, so that way people can just stay in contact with other people they may not see on a regular basis. So I will be putting out there when I'll be going live, because I'm still in college and things still need to get done. So just be on the lookout for those.
I realized I forgot to say this, but thank you very much for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad you could make it. So I'll be back with more stories next week. So until then, this is Ethan Hewlin and Noah signing off.
Bye.